Hey everybody, so this was recorded at I think around 6:30 in the morning my time. This is round one of the Vassal Seasonal Tournament from December. What happened is I sat down. I was supposed to actually play this game, but because I was filling in for to make it an even number tournament, but one of the player here showed up um, just before the round started, so I decided to drop out so I could record instead. But I forgot to start the log for this game, and then unfortunately, what happened is I was recording my commentary separately, thankfully, but unfortunately, I didn't get any of the video from the first round. I guess my computer ran out of space, so it didn't. It said it was recording, but it didn't actually capture a video file, and I didn't catch it until it was a little too late. But I did get the rest of the game from round two onwards. What I was able to do, though, was actually recreate the game from memory based on the players providing me their starting positions, and hopefully I can do that here with a game log. I'll recreate all the movements and cards that were played. You won't be able to see any command cards in hand. Unfortunately, Vassal doesn't let me control two players at once in the screen, but hopefully this will help and you'll get to hear my commentary over at least the figures moving around on the map. All right, I hope you enjoy, and we'll catch you for next round, round two, after this video. Hey everybody, welcome to IA Command, and we are recording live the game, first round of the second Vassal Seasonal Tournament here on Vassal. It is 6:30 a.m. here in Portland, where I am at. But I got up early. I just decided if I could, I would try to get up early and play if there was odd number of people. But at the last moment, we had Blaide sign on, got the time zones wrong. So I am going to be commentating on this game instead that I would have been playing in. So we've got Joey playing against Blaide. Joey's in the top of the screen there. He's got Emperor Palpatine, Royal Guards, Grand Inquisitor Mara Jade, BT1. He's got motivation on Palpatine. He's got an officer, Zillow Technique, Rule by Fear, and what is that? Oh, Advanced Comm System, which you see in pretty much every list. And let's actually try and do this. I want to show off a couple of these cards. So Motivation is a really good one. This has been seeing a lot of play with Palpatine lately. Let's see if I can. There we go. Yeah, so you can see that on the bottom left of your screen. Allows Palpatine to maneuver somebody into position before he uses his Emperor ability to give them an attack. I'm just going to bring up Palpatine here. This is a card that ICP has not had to touch for sure to stay strong and relevant in the meta. And we're still waiting to see what Blaide's playing. As for the mission, we are playing on Mos Eisley Back Alley. It's just mission just recently rotated into tournament play, but it's definitely an old school map that's been played quite a lot. I think we're playing Concealed Treasures. So here is the mission in question. This is the one where each figure can retrieve a crate, and then they can bring them back when they enter the station to the stash. So the stashes are up in the deployment zones. It's those circular mission tokens. You can discard a crate to get 4 VPs, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of crates in play. So going to be a lot up for grabs for anybody that can take it. And I think Blaide is deployed. Oh, there, he's in player 3. So let me go ahead and bring that up on the screen. Player 3. I don't have a window for player 3, so give me just a second. There it is. And we're going to see Vader in action, and it looks like actually they're swapped. So let me switch these around here. Joey's actually going to be in the bottom deployment zone. And then we're going to put Blaide up in the top. There we go. Now it's matched up to the screen. So let's look at Blaide's list. This is actually a classic list, no Season 6 cards. This is a classic Vader's Hero list from Season 5. I mean, I say it's classic, it's from one season ago. But this is Vader, Callus, Iden, an officer, Zillow Technique, Rule by Fear. Oh, there's Captain Taro. Two officers, Unshakable, Advanced Calm on Callus, and Driven by Hatred on Vader. So it's going to be a nice old mirror match here. Looking at some of these figures, we've got Iden, very strong attacker with the pulse cannon ability. Callus, not super great as an attacker, but he hits decently hard, especially if he can get into melee range. But really, that fulcrum ability is what makes him so powerful, giving Empire access to card draw. It does give it at a pretty hefty cost of letting our opponent draw cards for free, but being able to dig for those parting blows that Vader likes to use is so powerful. Alright, so players are starting here. It looks like Blaide has initiative, and both players are going to be doing Rule by Fear. So Joey pitching Dark Energy, and looks like Blaide pitched Urgency. So not too surprising to see Dark Energy getting pitched by Joey here. I don't think Parting Blow, I think he does have Parting Blow for sure, but I don't think it's going to be a major part of his strategy as it is with Vader. With Vader, the Parting Blow combo is everything to you because it's how Vader gets out that extra damage efficiency. Otherwise, he's a little bit inefficient on dealing damage for a 13-point figure. So, yeah, looking at the command cards we're probably going to be seeing here, Vader is wont to play Parting Blow. This is a card that lets him get an extra attack in when a figure exits an adjacent space. And the way Vader uses this card is he combines it with two other cards. One is for Dark Side Force users. The one that we just saw discarded by Joey. This lets him push another small figures, so Vader will move up to you and then push you to force the trigger of the Parting Blow. The other one is a Brawler card, if I can find the tab, called Looking for a Fight, that also lets him either move or push and gives a power token as well. Alright, so it looks like we've had two officer activations for Blaide here, pushing up Vader out of the deployment zone, as well as opening his door. And it looks like Joey's opened both of his doors here. So he's activated Officer, and the Grand Inquisitor has now opened the door. Looking at how this is going to play out, I think Blaide might have an advantage here with his two officers, giving him a bit more action economy. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 activations for Blaide. 1, 2, 6 activations on both sides. Actually, more figures on Joey's side. So it might be a bit of a wash because a lot of Blaide's points is consolidated into Vader. So he's got more cheaper. Oh, there's a strat shift being played here. Okay, so Callus did the trick he does where he does Fulcrum to draw both players a card, and then he plays strat shift as he is a spy. So that extra card drawn by Joey. Oh, the 1-2 punch. Intel leak to take half of his remaining cards. This is going to get rid of Parting Blow, leaving Joey with just Wild Attack in hand. So Joey going to be playing without a command card hand here, basically, for this first round. I'm thinking that's making Joey regret opening those doors a little bit, probably. So Callus moving up as well next to the terminal. Both of these lists are very melee centric, but Blaide's list actually has a lot more ranged attacks in Iden and Taro, and Callus can actually attack at range. But Vader is a big hitter in melee, so it's going to be interesting to see who Joey goes for first. I imagine Blaide's going to keep Vader back until a very opportune moment to strike, which is going to make it difficult for Joey to get good targets with his melee list. But if Joey pushes too hard with his melee figures, he's going to eat a really powerful counterattack. I think Joey's in a really tough spot here, but we'll see what he's going to do to get out of it. Alright, we got Mara activating. Looks like she's going to grab that crate. So Mara, 5 speed figure. Oh, players are still figuring out the new control system in Vassal. Control 9 now picks up a crate as there is a third power token option for figures because of Mayfield. I'd also point out the new look on the figures here in Vassal. Trevor did an awesome job updating the figure sprites, so now they're round instead of square, and you can actually see the terrain underneath them peeking through the corners. It's not as big of an issue on this map because there's not that much blocking terrain, but on other maps like Jawa's Palace, where there's tons of like random blocking terrain lines, it's really nice to be able to see underneath the figures now that they have a round profile instead of a square one. So we'll zoom back out. I guess I am zoomed in a bit more than I need to be. Oh, and I've got the map cut off. That's what's happening. Alright, so we're down to just last activations here. Taro and Vader on Blaide's side. Royal Guards, BT and Palpatine. BT, one of the few range figures in Joey's list here. He could be setting up for a BT into Palpatine Emperor attack. But BT could die very quickly. Joey opining how easy he's making it for Taro to come in and flamethrower him. I do have the player voice chat in my ear. By the way, if you're not supporting the channel already and wish to do so, patreon.com/iacommand, taking donations. We really appreciate you guys. This is a one-person operation. I put all these videos together myself on my limited timetable, so do love it when people support the channel financially. Honestly, if I didn't have a steady income stream for this, as small and tiny as it is, I probably wouldn't keep doing it. So thank you to all of you who do donate, and I appreciate anybody who wants to start. So looking at the current situation, Vader yet to activate, and Taro. Taro's pretty far away still to be able to do a flamethrower other than to the officer, and would probably lead to getting double tapped by BT, so I don't think he's going to move Taro up very aggressively here. Taro can move, let's bring it up here on the screen. Captain Taro. 5 speed. Taro was updated in ICP, but really the only update he got was he got efficient travel and professional. Just kind of quality of life tweaks for this figure that was holding him back from seeing high level competitive play. His command card did get updated pretty nicely, but I don't think Blaide's going to be running it. It's more of a trooper support card. I guess we could throw it up here. Oh, he's going to take a shot at Mara. What is it called? Cavalry charge. So there you can see his new or updated command card. Actually, I think I can toggle between the new one and the old version. Oh no, I guess not. That used to be a thing you could do. Alright, so here's the attack. He does have a reroll though. Currently short on accuracy. Oh, it looks like he rerolled the blue. So that's going to be a miss. So yeah, Taro not super strong at attacking at long range. Usually range 4 or 5 is where you want to be attacking from. So I'm guessing Joey's going to come and counterattack here, although BT also not the best at range. So it sounds like Joey's trying to figure out where to put BT so he doesn't get hit by Vader here. There we go. Yep. So he's going to move forward, take a range 5 shot at Taro. Bit of a long shot without a surge for accuracy on this attack, but he could definitely make the range with blue, green, yellow. The red is not going to contribute, but we're going to see a full rainbow of dice being rolled here. That's good. There we go. He hit it. So that's going to be 6 Pierce 2. But Zillow technique can be... That was a good roll, actually. And then Emperor's going to come up and do the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if he tempted Taro here and tried to get the kill. I don't think he has targeting computer on BT, which is unfortunate. That's a really good card with BT, but yeah, he did 6 damage. I think he would definitely tempt. Looks like he didn't exhaust Zillow, which is interesting. Okay, so Vader's going to come up and force choke. So really good positioning by Joey, staying out of Vader's threat range. He does eat a force choke here, and he's going to discard, looking for a fight from the top of the deck for the strain. But it doesn't look like Vader's going to have an end of round attack here with Driven by Hatred. Okay, so he is going to attempt Captain Taro, as we thought. So you can see Driven by Hatred that's going to come up at the end of this round. He is going to get Zillowed here, so he's not going to have the Pierce 2. Oh, interesting. He's going to use Motivation first. He's going to try and get that range guaranteed, so that's a good move. Also gets the nice bonus of covering 1. So now he's got that nice range 5, or range 4, which should not be difficult. He'd have to really low roll to miss on this one. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. Nope, that's going to make it. Oh my goodness. Now Zillow is not going to be in play here. Blaide probably regretting not using Zillow technique there. So he gets the kill. That was impressive. Joey on the board here first with 7 victory points. Yes, I am recording, and within reason. Cool. All right, back to the action. Players were asking about their voice chat. All right, so that's the end of round 2. Quite the turnabout there, going from losing every card in his hand to getting the first kill on Captain Taro, putting Joey in the driver's seat, but he still has to contend with Vader. Let's zoom out a little bit. So the last door opens as the end of round mission effect. So now we have Vader having to make a choice. He has to move first. He can't choke and then move back. and Joey's going to have initiative going into this round, although the chances of him having take initiative after having his hand crippled like that are somewhat low. And Blaide might also have, or the chances of him having negation, I mean. So Blaide might have take initiative and might be playing aggressively into it. So he's going to force choke BT, and Joey discarding Assassinate off the top for the strain. So that is unfortunate because that is a card that Joey would have liked to have had to deal with Vader. If one of his Royal Guards can get a stun on Vader, though, that would be really big. Ooh, we've got, I think, Iden playing Call the Vanguard. And, of course, the droid companion follows her as she moves. So we're seeing a Call the Vanguard attack from Iden with +2 damage from her Pulse Cannon ability, augmenting her power token. Excuse me. So 4 damage going in. Oh, a nice triple block there from Joey. Alright, so it looks like Joey's going to get to keep his initiative here. This is really good for him. I think, yeah, BT1 can activate. That makes sense. He's close to being dead, and he's probably the strongest attack that Joey has. I think he could probably protect... I think he's worried about Palpatine here. He could probably protect Palpatine just moving... If he moves BT under Grand Inquisitor and next to Palpatine, I think that would be fine to keep Palpatine safe, at least for the current round. Alright, so here's an attack on Vader. Another great roll from BT, not having to deal with that evade or the Zillow technique, canceling his pierce. That's going to be a nice 4 damage. That's 1/4 of the way there, just 3 more attacks like that. Oh, it looks like he's going to move him back, trying to protect BT, but he leaves Palpatine open there. Palpatine probably the strongest asset in this game. He also moved BT so far back that he wouldn't be able to get off a good motivation plus Emperor attack here if Blaide decided to leave BT alone for some reason. So we'll see how this plays out. I think if Blaide does commit hard to killing BT, then this will be really good for Joey, but not sure if he'll do that. Alright, we are back, finishing up the commentary here for Joey and Blaide's game. I should mention here that I am no longer commenting live on this game. Reason for that is after I realized that my video recording had not picked up any of that first round, apparently, just my commentary, I got a little frustrated and I kind of stepped away. But I did at least set this to keep recording their game. So I realized I could actually piece together their game from memory, and hopefully that came through okay. But now we're going to try and finish up the rest of this match. So we're in this past the start of round 2 here. It looks like BT is activated. Joey has initiative and has dealt some damage to Vader, dealt 4 damage and moved back. And now it's Blaide's activation. So Blaide's got Vader kind of sitting out there, very close to Mara. Could easily take a hit, get hit by Mara with Palpatine due to motivation. And again, I'm going to mention I have seen some of this game, so I'm not commenting live here, but I'm going to point out kind of what I'm seeing. Vader currently at 4 damage out of 16 health. Mara packs a pretty big wallop, He could also get lightninged here, because what we could see Palpatine do is move up, lightning Vader to weaken him, which would remove a lot of the power of that second black die if he can't evade. And that's going to do 4 damage as well. Then motivation on Mara to have Mara attack Vader. Vader could easily take 8-10 damage from that combination. So what we're going to see here is a really nice play by Blaide. Going to move the officer up. Going to pull Vader back. What he could have done is he could have activated Vader there, moved up, attacked Mara, and then moved back to that spot. However, this puts the officer blocking the pathway. He can still sneak around back and attack Vader through the middle. But this also leaves Vader to kind of activate when he needs to instead of being forced to activate early in the round. So nice move by Blaide. Definitely running behind here. Joey. So I am listening to the player chat here. Joey expressing some surprise. Was not expecting that play. So by Blaide to move Vader that way with the officer. So now it's on Joey. We've got Iden there, by the way, up by that crate on the bottom left of the map with Dio standing over her, and then Agent Callus is up by Blaide's terminal in the top left. We've got there's a Royal Guard under the terminal of Joey. And we still have unactivated Mara, Grand Inquisitor, and Palpatine, as well as the Royal Guards and the officer for Joey. Now that Royal Guard is in a good spot. I think at this point is when I may have stopped watching. So Joey talking about how this has definitely thrown a wrench in his plans. Mentioning he was definitely going to be making that Palpatine lightning into Mara play. And Blaide saying he saw the same play as well. So Blaide doing a good job there throwing a wrench into that plans. We might see... Let's see, Royal Guards can come up and try and stun Vader. That would definitely hamper him. But we've got, looks like officer activating for Joey. Gonna play planning here. So, should mention Joey did get strat shifted into Intel Leak in round 1 by Callus. So he's got 2 cards in hand left. Playing into planning. Could go up to 4. And here we have Blaide contemplating whether he wants to allow this. So definitely telegraphing either negation or calm disruption. It's always interesting when you have to tell your opponent to hold up on playing a card, because it definitely telegraphs what you have in your hand. With either you have a negation, or if you have spies that you've got calm disruption. So it kind of gives away whether that's in play. And I think you really need to be ready to commit when you tell someone to pause, or know what you're going to negate or use that calm disrupt. So he does have the calm disrupt for that. Really trying to keep the, what's the expression? Boot on his neck. On Joey's neck. Trying to keep that command card flow from building for him. Which makes sense. Blaide is definitely behind in this game. Joey taking that early kill on Taro was a big momentum shift in Joey's favor, even losing those command cards. So officer going to push Palpatine up 1 space, and just going to move up north of that terminal. So Joey fortressing up a little bit here down near his deployment zone. Yeah, Joey mentions the new Imperial box strategy. So this is interesting. Definitely building up sort of just kind of keeping all of his units together means that Blaide can't really isolate any of them to pick them off, which is one of the strengths of boxing up your figures, really, is that if your opponent comes to take out one of them, he's going to have to deal with all of them. And not a whole lot of objective play going on. I think it looks like the only one carrying a box here is Mara. And these crates are worth 4 points each. There's an insane amount of VPs to gain on this mission. Because if you look at it, there's, 1, 2... So we got Blaide's officer picked up a box. And you do have to take them back to the stashes, but it's just movement points to I don't even think you have to spend movement points to drop them. You just have to move next to the stash. And so there's 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4. There's 32 points total of VPs from objectives on this match, which is just insane. If you look at more recent maps we've had, like Lothal, Lothal Spaceport, Lothal Wastes, any of the other ones, usually you see like 2, or in the case of Jawa's Palace, there were 4 each, but there's only 3 of them. So you can only get 12 per round, but you'd have to control all 3 for multiple rounds so you can get close to the amount of VPs you can get from this mission on the objectives. Why people are starting to talk about maybe Alliance Smugglers being worth looking at again, because they're very, very valuable on a mission like this. And I remember back in the old days, this mission was in play with Nalhutta Swamps, which had a similar mission called Raining Freight, where you could pick up crates that spawned every round for crazy amount of points, and it was so strong for those 2-point figures like Alliance Smugglers. Alright, so it looks like Grand Inquisitor is going to come up here and take a slice at this officer, banking on Deadly to help out with dealing with that reroll from Cower on the white die. So the Grand Inquisitor did get a cost drop in ICP, but that's all. He's still the same card exactly, just 7 points instead of 9. So he still has that surge for -1 dodge in the Deadly ability. I didn't see a defense dice rolled. Oh, but that's because it looks like it didn't matter what he rolled, that officer was dead. Although, that's interesting. Blaide has Zillow. I wonder if he would have discarded a card to save it with Zillow. Alright, so that's a dead officer. So Joey now has 2 kills under his belt. And some damage on Vader, and some damage on Callus, who took damage from Intel Leak, which I believe discarded Parting Blow. He does have quite a bit of damage on BT there. Interesting to see whether Blaide goes for the kill or lets BT kind of linger. BT's pretty buried, pretty deep back there, so in order to dig him out, Blaide would have to open himself up to quite a bit of attacks. Alright, Callus activating for Blaide. Gonna use, looks like Fulcrum. I saw some cards go into hands. So that would have put, that was another reason to counter planning. That would have put Joey up to 5 cards in hand from just 2, but now he only has to deal with 3. Callus going up to 4 cards in hand for Blaide. So he's moving up and going to take a range shot here at the Inquisitor. So normally Callus has a ranged attack of, I believe, blue, green, green. But he can choose to make it a melee attack and swap a blue for a red. So it's a pretty good roll here. 5. He's got a power token from his Hunt Descent ability from when Joey played Planning. And he's got a Pierce 2 for the Surge. So it looks like he's going to do 4 damage. I didn't see a defense die get rolled. And I don't see elements. I'm not sure what happened there, but if Inquisitor doesn't roll a defense die, he gets to add a block. 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be +1 damage, so 5. Search for Pierce 2. It should be 5. But I only see 4 damage on the Inquisitor, so I might be missing something. Okay, Joey activating Royal Guards. Looks like he's gonna go for Vader here. Yep, I'm gonna take a unfocused attack on Vader. We don't see a Zillow exhaust yet from Blaide, so that Pierce 1 could get negated if it means preventing a stun. But unless a reroll's really good here, I don't think that's gonna happen. Probably reroll the yellow. Oh, he's gonna reroll red. Yeah, why do we reroll? If he had gotten a surge there, that still wouldn't have gotten anything. I think if he gotten the 3 damage, he would have gotten 1 damage through. I think he needed to reroll the yellow there. And hope he got the damage surge. That would have been 5 damage Pierce 1 and stun, and there would have been nothing Vader could do to prevent the stun. So right now he's looking at 4 damage, Pierce 1. He could go for the stun and get an evade token. So I think he's debating if he wants to do 1 damage to Vader or get an evade. And it looks like he did the damage. I see him now at 5 damage. Which makes sense. I think, especially with Palpatine in play for Joey, every damage on Vader counts, because every damage you put on Vader gets him 1 closer to being temptable. Okay, so Royal Guard. There we go. That's much better. Same defense roll, but now he's got exactly the roll we described earlier. That's 5 damage, Pierce 1, and stun. Joey's being like, do I even need to reroll? I don't think you want to reroll that. That's going to be, yep, 5 Pierce 1 and stun. Even if he exhausts Zillow, he's still going to get stunned. Oh, we went for the reroll and he did not get punished. So that's going to be 6 Pierce 1 and stun. Nice. Minus the 4 blocks present. He could Zillow. I wonder if he keeps Zillow for any reason. He does have Mara still to deal with. She has a Pierce 3, but she sometimes undersurges with her roll, especially when she's not focused. I would almost be tempted to exhaust Zillow here as Blaide, just to keep some more damage off of Vader, but I think maybe he saves it for Mara. Yeah, so he's gonna take 2 damage, right? So is that 2? 6 minus. You should have taken 3 damage there. I don't see Zillow being exhausted. Maybe they forgot about the Pierce. So it goes to 7. Takes a stun though, which is big. Although I guess he does. Blaide has Unshakable in his list, so maybe not that big. And I don't think Joey has any way to restun. So I guess yeah, Unshakable makes the stun a little less valuable. That guard did get an evade token though for that. All right, so we've got Officer. Wait, who's this? Oh, this is Iden activating for Blaide. Gonna shoot at the Inquisitor. So it gets a damage token, power token for the droid Dio. I'm gonna spend it and double that damage to +2 instead of +1 with Pulse Cannon. Once again, I don't see a defense die being rolled for the Inquisitor. I'm not sure why. Maybe a dodge was rolled, or maybe we're not seeing the dice here. You know, it might be the dice, the bottom of the dice pool is cut off, in which case it would be frozen. So, okay, so Iden finishing activation. I'm going to assume that was a dodge, and that's why players didn't bother taking any damage on the Inquisitor. Iden going to move up, finish her activation there, drags Dio with her. Now Dio's going to activate. Dio, the companion droid that lives with Iden. Dio does a lot of work, surprisingly. That +1 damage really helps to get his damage through, and he often can stun with the surge. If he can stun Mara, that would be really good. I think he should have left Dio where he was, though. Then he could have moved up and stunned Mara. That would have been really good. Instead, he's going to use mobile to come down through this blocking terrain, take a shot here. Oh, there, now we can see the white die. There's another dodge. I'm trying to see if maybe that was the third dodge in a string. But that's going to miss on accuracy regardless. Would have had to deal damage to do stun. So that's not going to do anything, unfortunately. And the nice thing about Dio is that if he pops onto anybody, as long as it's a friendly figure, he can't be attacked. He's probably got a pretty decent 4 health too, so it's not terribly easy to kill Dio like it would be like the child with only 2 health. And he's got a white defense die too. Alright. Talking about Mara Jade activating here. Here we go. Mara is going to be a big weapon for Joey against Vader. Doesn't rely on Pierce the way that the Inquisitor does. Or BT. Yep, there we go. I think Zill technique's not going to come into play this round. The exhaust anyway. So, going to re-roll for Mara and then re-roll for Vader. It's going to stop the blue die. It's going to do 4 damage to Vader, which is a nice attack for an unfocused figure. Mara Jade's been a really interesting figure in the last 2 seasons now, or season and a half. A lot of people thought she was going to be pretty broken with how strong her attack is, and as we saw, a focused attack going 4 damage to Vader, although that was a pretty bad defense roll. But so far, her fragility has been real. It's been, I think a lot of players have found it difficult to get to close ranks with her without her going down quickly. But she's been really interesting linchpin in a lot of lists that are trying to rely on unique figure command cards, which is one of her specialties. Being able to play other figures' command cards in a list makes her really interesting. But if you leave her alone and don't attack her, you know, she's going to come in and hit you pretty hard. I feel like we've made quite a couple figures like that in IACP. Another one being Maul, or the Darksaber on Maul. He goes down pretty quick as well for 7 points, but if he gets in close, he's gonna wreck you. All right, Vader activating. Looks like he unshakable. I think he took a damage. Ooh, gonna play Element of Surprise with Vader on Mara. Doesn't have a power token though. So no white die for Mara. Might see a parting blow combo here, which would be interesting. Mara's also a hunter in this list, which is, I forgot to mention, is another great thing about Mara. She was purposefully made a hunter. I mean, we thought it was flavorful enough with her role in the Empire, because that's the idea. She was Empire, then she was Scum, and then she was a rebel in the lore. So we thought that made for a really interesting case for her being a neutral figure. And in the Empire, she was a hunter for the Emperor, I guess. I think that's what it was. It's good enough. Anyway, let's talk about the rolls here. 5 damage, 6 damage showing on the dice. Surge for +2 is 8. So that leaves Mara 3 health. So parting blow would do it. Can't force choke because he already moved. Vader is getting low on health here. He's taking some damage from these heavy hitters. And Palpatine is so good against Vader with that unmitigated damage. Doesn't even have to deal with Vader's heavy defense dice. It's kind of thematic when you think about it. In the lore, Palpatine was able to rule over Vader because of how effective lightning was against his armor. Just cut right through it. So let's see what's going to happen here. I think we're still letting Blaide finish his activation with Vader. And gonna move back. So it looks like he's moving back to, I mean, he could move back to where he started, but I think it sounds like he's trying to avoid some force lightning here. So if Palpatine comes down 1, 2, 3 below the Inquisitor, that's still within range of lightning to Vader. Right? Oh no, it's not actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's nice. He moved right out of range of Palp's lightning. And there's no officers anymore for Joey to move his figures out of his own way. So great maneuver there by Vader. Really anticipating Joey's options and playing around them Much like Joey really has against Blaide, kind of keeping his figures as far back away from Vader as he could until the big fight. So it looks like Joey's going to activate Palp here. But here's the problem. Palp can motivate. So that's actually not going to stop him. Yep, so he's going to push Mara out of the way with motivation. And that's going to give him the line of sight he needs for Force Lightning. So with Tempt plus Force Lightning, that's going to leave Vader at 1 health. And that's exactly where you want Vader to be when you have Palpatine in your list. Now he just has to keep Palpatine alive long enough to activate him. Obviously, it would be great to have Vader dead here, because he's going to get to do an end of round attack. Why is he... Oh, he's weakened from the Force Lightning there. So Vader's still going to get to do an end of round attack or choke, so I would imagine either Mara or Grand Inquisitor is going to go down. I would probably go for Mara. Yeah, she just hits so much harder than the Inquisitor. I can see why the Inquisitor's in this list, though. He's got 2 Hunters already with Mara and BT. So Inquisitor might not hit hard on his own, but if he can play Assassinate, Primary Target, Tools for the Job, when those other 2 figures are dead, then he's probably worth it. Alright, Vader spending his power token from Emperor's Tempt ability, which is at the celebration for Vader for Blaide. So that's going to be 10 points on top of 6. That's actually his first kill this game, though. He's still got BT kicking it over there behind the Royal Guard with 3 health left. Blaide's going to get initiative, though. He's going to get to activate before Joey can tempt Vader off the board. So Blaide saying he was not expecting to have Vader this late. So this is pretty great for him. He's going to get to activate. I think either killing BT or Inquisitor makes sense. I think BT represents more damage. So he's going to discard a card from the top of the deck to use Unshakable to get rid of the weekend. That makes sense. Oh, he discards Second Chance. So that would have been really good there. That would have stopped Tempt and then put Vader back at 2 health left. So who does he go for? He could... Actually, yeah, so I keep forgetting. Inquisitor has 15 health, which is massive for a 7-point figure with a white die. I don't think he can kill the Inquisitor one shot, but he can definitely take out the BT. I think BT's his best chance to remove an activation from Joey's list before it goes. Yeah, here we go. It's going to move up and attack BT. And Darth Vader normally has brutality, but because of Driven by Hatred, reducing his points by 5, it also makes him give up brutality, but he does get a +1 damage boost and a reroll on his attack. So that's pretty massive. Yeah, that's going to be like 10 damage. 10 damage to BT, so BT dies. 17 damage will kill BT for sure. That's actually going to focus the Royal Guard, which is interesting. And lets him move 1 space. So now Vader is kind of a non-factor, and Joey can bide his time. He can activate Palpatine whenever he feels like it, and then just pop Vader this round. We've got looking for a fight being played on the Inquisitor, I believe, which might lead into a parting blow. Yeah, there we go. Looking for a fight into parting blow. That's going to give him a damage power token. It'll be interesting to see how much damage Inquisitor takes, or if he dodges. Nope, no dodge. He does get a block from defensive. No surges for Vader, which is actually kind of nice for him. I think that's going to be 7 damage. Yep, 7 damage. He's thinking if maybe he rerolls. He could get 9, but that doesn't kill. Oh yeah, that was bad. So that he's doing 6 now. I don't think he could get the kill there. I might be wrong. Maybe there's a card in Blaide's hand that changes that math. But yeah, that's going to leave Inquisitor at 5 health. And now that's it for Vader. He's stunned. He did get to use Parting Blow, though, so that was nice for Blaide. Parting Blow with Vader is a huge force multiplier. It's been one of the strongest strategies in the game for several years now, before the ICP ever showed up. And it continues to be a very powerful strategy if you can use Vader correctly, which I would argue Blaide is probably one of the better Vader players. More consistent Vader players we have. He's definitely familiar with the figure and how he works. We've had a lot of players who've familiarized themselves with Vader and really enjoyed his playstyle. He is the ultimate queen piece, so to speak. So Joey, looking at his options, remarks that going with Palp here is unnecessary and probably would be dumb. His words, not mine. So gonna go with Inquisitor, which makes sense. He's down to 5 health. He could get taken out by an Iden attack very easily with a bad defense die roll. Who does he go for? Inquisitor has 5 speed and saber throw. I don't know how much damage is on Callus. I think 2 damage. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess if he goes with Inquisitor, there's not much he can do. I'm going to go with the Officer. Oh, that makes sense. So I'll use the Officer to move Inquisitor back into cover. Now it's going to be really hard to get to him. Yeah, that makes sense. He could also order the Inquisitor to move and then put the Officer next to the guard to really block him in and give him more movement options. But it looks like that's what he's going to do here. So even with something like, well, Urgency's gone, but maybe another card like Price of Glory. I think Joey is really looking to block out any command card shenanigans that's going to give Iden a shot at the Inquisitor, which would include something like Price of Glory, which is a 2-point card for Empire that gives 2 movement points to the figure that plays it, amongst doing other things. So now Blaide is got Iden and Callus has gone. No, Callus is activating here. Looks like he's using Fulcrum. Joey's built up quite the command card hand here after getting his planning comms disrupted. It hasn't really played any other cards, it looks like. So Blaide running low. Looks like he's going to go for this black die figure. Who is that? A guard. Must be a guard. So he's going to do Pierce, Weaken, and Focus for his surges with Agent Callus. You can see the score there. Looks like Blaide is actually pulled ahead. Oh, he's been scoring some objectives, it looks like. Oh, no, that was from Celebration, excuse me. But as soon as Joey takes out Vader, the scoreboard is going to look very different. So Callus is now focused, moving back. So I think that is a royal guard. Yeah, so he just shot at a royal guard and weakened it. I think, weakened and focused. It looks like that royal guard's going to come up and take out that officer before it can score its stash. These missions are always really tricky too, because it's hard to figure out, are you supposed to activate your combat figures to take out their figures, or are you supposed to activate your crate carriers so they don't die on their way to the stash? At this point, I wonder if maybe that officer should have activated first. It's hard to say though. There's a lot of calculus going on here for the players that is difficult to see as an observer. So Royal Guard this is a focused Royal Guard, gonna attack Iden. And not a great roll for Iden. Not bad though. 5. Oh, he's gonna reroll the red. Joey very aggressive with his rerolls. I like it. 4, 5, 6, 7 damage going into Iden, who has 11 health. It looks like he's gonna stun her actually, so 5 damage, stun, and gain an evade token. And gonna pitch a card, but he's already got Pierce 1 automatically. So, oh, it sounds like Blaide is thinking he wants to get some value out of that Zillow. And that Ferocity is a dead card, so he could tap and pitch to add an unpierceable block, which looks like he's going to do. So he's going to take 4 damage here. Quite the downgrade from 7, but the stun might be really important. Still gets a shot at the guard, but not at the damage row guard. So Blaide just down to Iden here. Both of his officers down, and Taro. Vader about to go down, so down to just Iden and Callus. I think I like that pitch. Knowing that Iden and Callus are so precious now, and knowing that there's no other Pierce really that he's going to use the Pierce 2 prevention on. It might be relevant at the Inquisitor, though it hasn't activated yet. Alright, Palpatine going to tempt Vader to his death and celebrate it. So that's a lot. That's going to be 17 points on top of 9. So that's going to put him at 28. So I believe Joey's now up 28 to 15. Palpatine going to motivate the Inquisitor 1 space and heal him. And going to move up to the crates. So a lot of action economy. Oh, double moving. Oh, nice. He's going to use Emperor to attack Iden again with that double move. So like I said, tons of action economy on Palpatine. Even though he's only speed 3, Emperor doesn't cost an action. With motivation, you're getting a free movement on one of your other figures without costing an action. Interestingly, you couldn't do that in FFG normal format because Inquisitor used to cost 9. So there's no way you could have a Palpatine motivating the Inquisitor, but it certainly works in ICP. Alright, forgive me. I see a card being discarded. Looks like maybe Parting Blow being discarded for Zillow Technique, which is going to keep Iden alive with 3 health. It's going to take 4 damage, it looks like. 5, Pierce 1. So yeah, 4 damage. Gonna stun and gain another evade token. She's already stunned, but he does get to keep that second evade token. This was off Palpatine using the Emperor ability with that Royal Guard to attack Iden. Which puts Iden in a tough spot. She can just unstun, gain a token, attack the Royal Guard. Interestingly, Dio gonna activate first. Oh yeah, because if he needs to activate Dio to put him into Iden's space to use Droid Kit, so that makes sense. So that guy does not have a power token, so we're gonna see Dio's attack going through on this damaged one. Don't want to see more surges than that though. Oh, triple block, so that's not gonna do anything. But it's gonna move back onto Iden's space to start providing with power tokens with Droid Kit. So Iden activating, gonna remove the stun. And gonna shoot at this Royal Guard with the evade tokens, emulating the +1 evade it used to have naturally. Quite well, I think. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't do that much. Sometimes it does a lot. In this case, it's not doing a whole lot because of Aiden's insane roll there. But I'm sure Blaide must be very happy to see that roll. That's 9 damage going against 1 block. So that's 8 damage. Quite the high roll from Aiden. She certainly packs a punch. Her surges can be somewhat of a letdown, though. So if those had been more surges than damage, I think the damage output would have been a lot different. So we've got Inquisitor playing Urgency, allowing him to move up and make an attack on Aiden. Oh, there it was, one of those hunter cards. Primary target on Aiden with only 3 health left. So +1 damage. Interestingly, Aiden is more expensive than Callus, and they are the last 2 figures for Blaide. So that's going to kill Aiden. That's going to put him at 35. And that's the end of round 3. So we can see Joey is definitely taking a huge advantage on material here. Not sure. It looks like really just what's happening is Joey's doing a really good job of forcing Blaide to split damage. The Royal Guards are quite good. I've said this for a while. People had no faith in them post nerf, but they're still really good. They hit very consistently with that basically Beskar spear attack. Red yellow with an automatic pierce and a reroll is quite good. Surge for +2 and surge for stun is quite good. And they're 5-point figures with 10 health. Alright, we've got Wild Attack and Deathbow being played on this attack. Start of the round with Grand Inquisitor on Callus, who has 9 health left. So no surges rolled. I think that's the idea here with Wild Attack, is that the Inquisitor has surges to cancel the dodge. And that's going to be 9 damage to kill Callus in 1 hit with that card, Tools for the Job, I believe. And that's going to put Joey up to 41 points. No objective scored. Oh, he did have Celebration. Oh, he's taking 8. Oh, that's with the Zillow block. But there it is. Disorient. Because Callus is focused, he's able to play Disorient, and Blaide actually has no cards left in his deck, thanks to all the draw provided from Callus. So Callus kind of signed his own demise there. Alright, everybody, hope you enjoyed watching that. That was round 1 of the December Vassal Seasonal Tournament, and we hope to see you guys in later.